Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Little Angel Storytime. And once again, I'm going to be reading from our book, The Jesus Storybook Bible by Lloyd-Jones. And today I have a very special story. And I think it's not only supposed to be a favorite, but it's one that has really helped me and helped everyone, I think. And in this story, uh, it talks about how to pray. And that's exactly what the title says. It's called How to Pray. And you may ask yourself, well, what is prayer? Prayer is just talking. So, for example, if you sit down and talk to your mom or dad, that is what really a prayer is. Prayer is talking to God, having a conversation with God. And how does God talk back to us? Through His Word, through the Bible. So, as we read this story, this is also a way that God speaks to you. So I hope that you'll enjoy listening. And here we go. And it's called How to Pray. Jesus teaches people about prayer, and it's called the Lord's Prayer. And this one is found in the Bible in the book of Matthew, chapter 6. And it says, in those days, there were some extra super holy people, at least that's what they thought they were, and they were called Pharisees. Pharisees. Every day they would stand out there in the middle of the street and pray out loud in big, extra super holy voices. And they really weren't praying so much. They were just really showing off. Do you know people like that who like to show off? Do you like to show off? Let's be honest. They used lots of special words that were so clever, no one understood what they meant. Have you ever heard someone use such big words when all they needed to say was something simple for you to understand what they wanted from you? Well, that's what they were doing. They were using such big words, nobody really understood what they meant. People walking by would stop and stare, which might sound rude, except that's exactly what this extra super holy people wanted. They wanted everyone to say, look at them, they're so holy. God must love them the best. Remember what we spoke about God being the friend of little children, and that you didn't need to do anything super special or clever in order for God to love you? Well, they thought that they needed to be extra clever for God to have special love over them. They're so wrong, right? Now, you and I both know they were wrong. God doesn't just love holy people or people that always do the right thing, but the people walking by weren't so sure. Perhaps you did have to be really clever or good or important for God to love you. That's what they thought. Perhaps you had to know lots of difficult, clever words to speak to God. Is that the only way God is going to answer you or understand you, if you use extra big words and long sentences? I hope not. So one day, Jesus taught people how to pray. He said, when you pray, don't pray like those extra super holy people. They think if they say lots of words, God will hear them. But it's not because you're so clever or you're so good or you're so important that God will listen to you. God listens to you, listen very close, because He loves you and because He can see your heart and what you really want to say. Did you know that God is always listening to you? Did you know that? In every single moment of every day, He listens to us. He knows what we're doing and thinking. Did you know that God can hear the quietest whisper deep inside your heart, even before you started to say it? I know that's weird, but it's true. Because God knows exactly what you need even before you ask Him, Jesus said. You see, God just can't wait to give you all that you need. So you don't need to use long words or special words. You don't have to use a special voice. You just have to talk. Speak in your voice, in your own voice. So when you pray, pray in your normal voice, just like when you're talking to someone that you love very much, like this. Let's see what they say. It says here, when you speak to your daddy or when your mommy, you don't use a special voice. Oh, mommy and daddy, I would love to tell you that I love you so much. We don't say that to them, no. We speak in our normal voices and we just say, for example, this is just an example, how we can talk to God. It says, hello, daddy. We want to know you and be close to you. Please show us how. Make everything in the world right again and in our hearts too. And please do it here too. Please give us everything we need today. Forgive us for doing wrong, for hurting you. Forgive us just as we forgive other people when they hurt us. Rescue us when we need you. We don't want to keep running away and hiding from you. Keep us safe from our enemies. You're strong, God. You can do whatever you want. You are in charge. Now and forever and for always. We think you are great. Amen. Yes, we do. Come on. You see, Jesus was showing people that God will always love them with a never stopping, never ending kind of love. And it was unbreakable, always and forever. So they didn't need to hide anymore or be afraid or ashamed. They could stop running away from God and they could run to Him instead, as a little child runs into her daddy's arms. Do you see that little girl? That's exactly how we can run into the arms of Jesus. And why is that? Because He is our friend. So, friends, today this is my story. And I want to encourage you today that if you have ever thought about praying to God and you've wondered, well, how do I pray? Well, that is just an example of how you can pray to God. And you really don't have to pray those exact same words. I know when I was a small child, I didn't really know what fancy words to say. And sometimes all I would say was, hi, God, I love you. Or I would say, hi, God, please take care of my mommy and daddy. Or I just want to know what's right. Please keep me from harm. Things like that. You don't have to use big words or sentences, and it takes time. So I encourage you tonight, as you go to bed, why don't you practice praying today and ask God to help you? He'll give you the words. All right. All right, friends, have a wonderful, wonderful night. Blessings, and until next time.